Fala galera, what is up? Aqui é o Henrique, bem-vindos a mais uma aula 100% em inglês para você testar e praticar o seu listening. Se você ainda não é inscrito no meu canal, aproveita para já se inscrever, ativa a notificação aí porque toda semana você vai encontrar vídeos como esse por aqui no meu canal. Alright, no vídeo de hoje eu vou te apresentar em inglês, 100% in English, quais são as 4 maiores construções dos Estados Unidos. Pretty amazing, huh? E aí, bora pro vídeo? Let's do this. Alright, American architecture is young if you compare it to the rest of the world. But that doesn't mean buildings in the US are not beautiful, incredible, and true pieces of art. So get ready, because I will show you now 4 breathtaking buildings in the United States. Number 4, Golden Gate Bridge. San Francisco has got a lot of interesting things to do and places to visit, like Lombard Street or the small island of Alcatraz. But the number 1 postcard of the city certainly is the Golden Gate Bridge. This construction began in 1933 and was finished in 1937. It was designed by the famous engineer Joseph Strauss. It is 1 mile long and connects the city of San Francisco to Marin County. The Golden Gate Bridge is considered to be one of the wonders of modern world. The cost to build this marvelous structure was around $27 to $35 million, which was an enormous investment at that time. And in today's currency, that number is around $1.5 billion. Now, this bridge is so famous that it has appeared in more than 20 movies, including 1978 Superman, X-Men The Last Stand, and 2014 Godzilla. If you're ever in San Francisco, this is a place to visit for sure.
Okay, kids, it's all right now.
Hey, it's Superman!
Charles always wanted to build bridges.
Open fire!
Number 3, Biltmore State. Located in Asheville, North Carolina, the Biltmore State is considered to be the largest house in America, with over 16,000 square meters of constructed area in a 28 square kilometer field. Man, that's something like 4,000 football fields. Now, this construction took almost 6 years to be completed, and that was between 1885 and 1895. Its original owner was George Washington Vanderbilt II, an art collector who loved Asheville weather and decided to build a luxurious summer house with, are you ready, 250 rooms. Now, this structure is so impressive and classic that the mansion became a National Historic Landmark. Ever since 1985, it's been possible to visit Biltmore State. You can book a room in the village, drink some wine, and take a look at the art collection. The finest objects and furniture of the 20th century are there, and of course, you can check out the mansion itself. The White House. The official residence of the President of the United States could not be left aside. The White House is one of the most iconic and well-known buildings in the world. An international competition was created in order to choose the design of the new presidential house, and the work began in 1792 in Washington, D.C., of course. Now, there are 132 rooms in the White House, but the president and his or her family can use 16 as their private home. The other rooms are divided between museum, memorial, libraries, and even secret bunkers. That's right, that's a whole field day for tourists. Now, every American president has lived and worked at the White House since 1800. The first one was John Adams, the second president of the USA. For 100 years, the place was known as Executive Mansion, but people often used to use the term White House due to the building's color. And in 1901, President Theodore Roosevelt officially named it White House. Did you know that? Number 1, the Empire State Building. There was a race to create the world's tallest building back in 1920, and some millionaires from New York started to run against each other in order to reach this goal. Now, before any other project had started, the construction of the Empire State Building began on March 17, 1930, and it ended 1 year later. With 102 floors, it was considered the world's tallest building, and it would remain that way until the first World Trade Center tower was built in 1970. A group of investors spent over $41 million to build this skyscraper, but nowadays that's worth almost $2.5 billion. But that goal wasn't easy to achieve. In 1929, the worst economic downturn of the United States had happened. And with that Great Depression, a lot of offices weren't rented during the Empire State's early years. So the situation finally got better after the Second World War. And in 1950, the Empire State became a symbol of financial hope for Americans due to its profit-making capability. The Empire State Building is more than just a landmark. It's a member of the world's popular culture. There are movies, songs, and books about it. It's a celebrity between the buildings around the world. I have been there myself, and it is really, really, really impressive. If you're ever in New York City, man, this is a must go. We could stay here for hours talking about many other amazing American buildings such as Statue of Liberty in New York, Mount Rushmore in Keystone, Gateway Arch of St. Louis, and so on, right? What about you though? Have you ever heard of these buildings? Have you ever been to any of them? Which one would you like to visit? Let me know in the comments below. This was today's video, and I'll see you next time.